Now, obviously, if we're going to talk about trade requests, we got to talk about the team who has basically had everyone and their dad request a trade from them, and that's the Richmond Football Club. And look, I'm a massive Richmond fan. I bleed yellow and black, right? But if I was on this Richmond team, somehow I feel like I probably would have somehow requested a trade, because the guys you think bleed yellow and black on this Tigers team apparently do not, because we've seen Liam Baker, who's one of the most fucking Richmond players that I've been able to watch and feast my eyes over, has just requested a trade to Western Australia. He actually hasn't picked if it's Fremantle or West Coast yet. And then you've got the other one, Daniel Rioli. Like, the Rioli name is so Richmond. You know, one of the greatest ever Indigenous players, Maurice Rioli, a Richmond Tiger. Then you got Daniel Rioli, a Richmond Tiger. Maurice Rioli Jr., a Richmond Tiger. And now you've got Daniel requesting a trade to the Gold Coast Suns, where he will officially go and play with Dimmer again, or play for Dimmer. I can't imagine 55-year-old Dimmer getting out on the park. It'd be a fun thing to watch. Again, that guy would fucking beat the shit out of you. If you turned your back, he was probably going to king hit you. And then the one I think we kind of thought was, if he was going to leave, was going to be a couple years ago, and just didn't. Stayed really loyal to the Tigers and pretty much became their best player. Shea Bolton, who has officially requested a trade to just Western Australia, it seems like. Again, we know he's going to be going to Fremantle, though. That's like 100% of a lock, really. We know this is also for family reasons, like Liam Baker. Daniel Rioli is just, I don't think really was family reasons. He just wanted to win more than 2 fucking games in a year. And look, I don't blame him. Richmond will be lucky to win 2 games next year. We might just win 1. But yeah, obviously this is crazy news for the Tigers. It's news that we kind of all expected, though. I think the most interesting part about all of this does actually happen to be the fact that Liam Baker, at the time of making this video, this could all change when it's out, hasn't actually picked a WA team. In fact, when the Richmond list manager was actually talking about them on the website, he described the trade, request being a situation where Richmond have suitors. So this could either way be to Fremantle versus West Coast. If I had to pick who I think Liam Baker will ultimately be traded to, I think Baker will become a West Coast Eagle. I just think that they could really use him. They could really use a nice, polishable player on their team who can not only play midfield, but half back. Again, I think he was wasted a lot on the Richmond Football Club this year. Had to play a lot of the half forward role, which just didn't work because the ball didn't get down there. Again, one of the only good things about Richmond is they are pretty stacked off half back, and their back line is actually probably a top 10 in the league. Again, they've probably got the worst forward line, worst midfield, probably the worst fucking bench, but their back line is really good, meaning a player like Baker, who you can tell is a half-back probably in the league, was not able to play there. They had to move him around just because he's still valuable in other spots. He played a lot of midfield. I think West Coast will be looking for Liam Baker to come to their team quite a bit. They'll probably be aiming to give Richmond a pick that's 13 to 19. How they get that, I'm not sure. Again, I think they'll get that in the Barras trade. If it's like pick 13, Richmond will probably do Liam Baker a 3rd round pick or 2 for that pick 13. I think that works well for both clubs. Yeah, I don't know. I can still see him going to Fremantle, though. That could very well happen. They have 3 first round picks and a future first next year. They could try and sort out a deal, especially if they're already negotiating this Shea Bolton deal. This could very well happen. And if Richmond could get their future first, that would, again, set them up for the future as well. The other player I would like to talk about in this video is Jack Graham. Again, considering I'm talking about the other 3 blokes, I thought, well, we should talk about the other guy I kind of think should go out of most of them. He is absolutely lost on Richmond, playing like a half-forward role. Just because of his injuries, he hasn't been able to really add to what Richmond need in the midfield. Again, Richmond already have those bigger contested type players. They need speed and ball use. Unfortunately, Jack Graham, again, before the injuries, was one of those bigger contested players. who was noted for his ball use, but it's just kind of gone down. Again, I think he would have a role at West Coast. They're kind of looking for everything in the midfield right now. We know he can play up forward as well. They've actually offered him a 4-year deal, which we know. While I'm making this video, he could very well re-sign. And if he does, if this video comes out and he's re-signed, I don't think that's a good move for the Tigers. I'll just straight up say I think they should let him walk, get an end of second round pick or middle second round pick, which they'll get for compensation. And if I was them, that's kind of the road that I would preferably go down. So yeah, with all of this said and done, I think Richmond will get pick 6, which will become pick 8 for Rioli. It will become pick 8 because Ashcroft is a father-son to Brisbane, and Battle is supposed to be very front-loaded contract, meaning Saints will get a top 10 pick. I think it'll be like pick 8. If Richmond said, we'll do Rioli for pick 8, I think Gold Coast would agree to that. Daniel Rioli's had a phenomenal season. And look, if Richmond can have pick 8, I think it's like 12 and 11 at the time of making this video for Fremantle. It'll probably be like 13 and 14. And then get that West Coast pick as well or something for Baker. The pick for Graham, that's 5 extra picks, all in the top 28 probably for Richmond. That would be a phenomenal trade period for them. And I just think it makes a lot of sense to go and completely hit this hard rebuild. So again, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. Do you guys agree with, all of these players requesting trades? Which one do you think is going to help out the certain team he is going to go to, whoever it may be? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Subscribe to my sports channel, which is this one. All the latest sports content, AFL, NBA. Again, more NBA content will be coming soon, hopefully. Subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.